The murder of 28-year-old Tshegofatso Pule is back in the Roodepoort Magistrates Court west of Johannesburg this morning. The accused, Nthuthuko Shoba, was arrested at his home in Florida earlier this year after the man convicted of the murder of Pule entered into a plea bargain with the state to testify against Shoba. Pule's body was found in an open veld in Roodepoort. She was 8 months pregnant at the time. Let's take you live to the court now. Our colleague Hasina Gori is standing by. Hasina, what have you got for us this morning?
Good morning, Desiree. Yes, we're back at court this morning where Nthuthuko Shoba is expected to be making his second bail application, a plea. We heard last week, the last time we're in court, quite a revelation day when the state brought their case. We heard Nthuthuko Shoba's version of events. He was trying to paint a picture that Tshegofatso Pule and her alleged killer, Malepane, were actually in a relationship, and that's why she was killed. And that he was trying to prove that. He also tried to paint a version of himself that he was a doting father-to-be who was there, he was present, who had paid for the medical visits and ensured that Pule was fine during this pregnancy. But the state came out last week, Thursday, bringing a very different version, according to them, using cell phone footage or cell phone evidence and WhatsApp messages showing firstly that this was not the first pregnancy between Shoba and Pule, that there was a child that they had before and that she had aborted it. And in her messages you see her telling Shoba that she does not want to abort a second child. You see Pule begging him to take her to the doctors, and he would take her after a week or two. Also him bringing her medication which made her feel more worse. You see during these messages that she was really pushing for him to come home, that she knew that he didn't want to tell his wife about the pregnancy. Also other evidence that came out showed that Shoba had two phones, one that was registered and another unregistered one, which was used to contact Pule first to lure her to an interview, which the state is trying to allege was where they were planning to kill her the first time. And the second number that was used a lot or called a lot was Malepane. We know that Nthuthuko's version is that he knew Malepane because he had been selling alcohol and cigarettes during that very hard lockdown, and that's the only way he knew he was in contact. But according to the state, they had been in high school together. According to the cell phone records that were read out in court on just the day of Pule's death, Shoba had called Malepane at least 23 times. That's at least 11 times before she arrived at his home in the early hours of the evening. And the last call that he made, there was 8 calls that they made during the evening, and the last one was literally minutes before she went out to the jeep. We know the state is opposing bail. They claim that if Shoba is allowed out, that he will interfere with the state's case, that he's already interfered with witnesses and evidence. We know that according to Shoba, he said he alerted the state about the CCTV footage which led to the arrest of Malepane, and that he had been forthcoming with all the information. But the state claims that the CCTV footage that he had brought forward didn't really assist much, that they had found their own CCTV footage, and that had led them to finding the registration of that jeep and then linking it to Malepane. We also know that Shoba had said that he needs to get bail because he has a job at the JSC as an IT manager, and that his long incarceration will hinder his employment. We know that as of Friday, the JSC has confirmed that Shoba is no more an employee of theirs. They've terminated his contract. He was put on cautionary suspension, but now they have fired him as of Friday. So today we're expecting to hear the defense responding to the state's case, and then after that, closing arguments, which will take place sometime today or later in the week. That's it for me for now. It is an ongoing story. We will dip into proceedings as the day continues. Back to you in studio, Desiree.